I started playing basketball since I was 2. And I haven't put it down since. The sound of the ball bouncing against the hardwood, the sound that it makes when it goes through the net, I just love everything about it. It's the seed that started everything for me. Everything grew from this ball. If I had the power to turn back time, I would never use it. Because then every moment that you go through means absolutely nothing, but you can always go back and do it again. So it loses its beauty. I wanted to be remembered as a player that didn't waste a moment, didn't waste a day. I felt extremely blessed by the God-given talent. At the same time, I didn't take it for granted. The most important thing is how your life touches those around you and how it carries forward to the next generation.
We have spent this NBA Tuesday remembering Kobe. Came on the air 4 o'clock this afternoon local time for an hour and just reminisced, heard stories, remembered fondly the career of Kobe Bryant. At the same time, mourning the loss of 9 people in a helicopter crash on Sunday. Night has fallen. People remain out there next to the arena where these memorials have been set up. Staples Center was to be the site tonight of the 3rd meeting of the season between the Lakers and Clippers. This place would have been packed and roaring. But the Lakers said it's just too early to play a game after what happened Sunday. And we welcome you to Inside the NBA. It's presented by Kia on what has been an emotional day and one unlike any I've experienced in 30 years in this chair. And one of those reasons was Jerry West. You're going to hear a bit of what he had to say in just a second. Meantime, with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith and Charles Barkley and D. Wade, we watched tonight. 8 other games were played, and as you would expect, there were tributes aplenty. In Philadelphia,
that's gotta be
Lower Merion number in Jersey, yeah. Joel Embiid wore number 24 tonight,
I love him.
and he scored 24 points. As we've seen, Dwayne taking the 8-second violations and the 24-second violations here over the last few days.
Yeah, I love everyone's interpretation, of how they want to honor Kobe. It goes beyond the NBA. You got guys in high school and guys in junior college scoring 81 points, and everyone's doing whatever they can to honor, one of our legends, especially in this generation. Man, he meant so much to everybody, and you're getting a chance to see it.
I was just about to say that when I was coming up, it was Dr. J, Magic, Bird. When I was playing, it was Mike's, and he's definitely the guy for this generation.
Yeah.
And you can see his impact on the game, his impact on people's lives. People just love them.
Ernie, there are a lot of great NBA players, obviously. Shaquille and Dwayne are 2 of them, but there's always somebody in a generation who carries the NBA. When I first got to the NBA, it was Magic and Larry. And those 2 guys, I every time I see them, I tell them thank you, because everybody look at the NBA the way it is today. It wasn't always like this. I always say that Larry Bird and Magic Johnson saved the NBA. They're the 2 most important players in NBA history. Then Michael took over and took the torch and ran with it. Shaq had his time. Dwayne had his time. And realistically, for the last 20 years, even though Steve Nash won an MVP and Paul Pierce had a great run in the playoffs. It's been Kobe's league, and obviously now it's LeBron's league. But there's one player over a generation that the league really, he's the guy in the league. And it was an honor. I told you, I don't know Kobe Bryant that well. He was always cordial to me. Bless you.
Thank you.
He always treated me with great class, and I always look forward to seeing him. But we were not great friends. I don't want to be one of those guys that act like we were great friends. But I cried when I heard the news Saturday. Just because, one thing about sports, we all grow up together. Like the guy you started playing with as a little kid, you see him in college, you follow his career. Then if you're good enough to get to the NBA, like you see each other all the time at different, obviously during the game, but you feel like you're part of a fraternity, you're part of a family. And like even when Commissioner Stern died, like that hurt me to my core. But this one hurt the most.
Let me ask you guys as players, if it would have been difficult to play on Sunday and Monday, or if this would have been something that inspired you to play even harder.
I think it would be inspirational later. I think my daughter, Kayla, I was talking to when it happened. She said, you always hear that saying like, what's important. But this just shows, she said, Daddy, this just shows me that like the importance of your life making meaningful moments and not being meaningful. So you have to make meaningful moments with the people you love, because it could be all gone in one. And it also, she said, it makes me kind of fearless. I'm like, what do you mean by that? She's like, because now it doesn't really matter what somebody says to me. Like, if I think that this is the right thing to do, who cares what somebody says? Because if you're doing things right, you shouldn't worry. It makes me feel, I said, that's the Mamba mentality. That's it. But I would have been shaken if to play in a game, but I would have been inspired in a day or two.
Would you have been able to play a game if you were still active in this league?
The answer is yes. Kobe would have wanted us to go on. And if I would have had the ability to be one of those special players, Charles had the ability, D-Wade had the ability, of course, I would just try to turn it on. Us special players, every now and then, I don't know what it is. I wish we could do it more often, but we could turn it on. So it'll probably be one of those nights. It just I would try to, let the game come to me and just, catch a flow, and I would want to just do something crazy in his memory. Knowing me, I probably would have tried to score 81 or 50 or 60.
You go first.
Sunday, no. I wouldn't have been able to play Sunday, but I was talking to Coach Spo today about the team in Miami and how those guys were doing. And he said the cloud over everybody just was dark. Yeah. And I told him, I said, listen, this is the first day since I've retired that I actually wish I was in practice with you guys. I actually wish I was on the court. Yeah. I wish I was able to smile and enjoy the game that I knew that my friend enjoyed. And I would have been talking a lot of stuff. And it's just what I felt today. But Sunday, I couldn't get out of bed.
And I would want to play, personally, because number one, there's so much stuff that we have to think about on the basketball court. It would give you relief. It would give the fans relief for a couple hours. Because let's get one thing straight. The Lakers play Friday. They ain't going to be no better Friday. Anybody who think like this thing going to be like, 3 more days, they're going to be ready to go. I personally think, number one, the sooner you get back to your life, that's the only thing gonna make it better. First of all, it's gonna be. It's always gonna hurt. It's never gonna be easy. But like I say, the Lakers play again Friday. This thing ain't gonna be better by Friday. But I would want to play. I'm just saying for myself. I would want to play basketball.
To release, that would be a good release for you.
It'll get me away, because it's gonna be people crying around me, or I'm gonna be watching some about it on television. I need, like, when people in my family have died,
You know they're gonna do something Friday too.
I know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's gonna still be emotional. But I'm saying, when you're at home, when somebody dies, everybody's crying. You just hug it and tell everybody you love them, and then you turn on the TV and it's still there. But I would want to be, because like once this basketball game starts, you got plays. You got defensive strategies. You need to know where the double team's coming from. You need to know how to play the pick and roll. But that's just me, because I don't ever tell anybody how to grieve. But we as a basketball family, at some point, we gonna have to get back to playing basketball.
And they will. That night was not going to be this night. And earlier tonight, when we talked to Jerry West, who spent 40 years with the Laker organization, he's the logo. Now he's an advisor with the Clippers. You just got an indication that for those closest to Kobe, like Jerry West, they are absolutely devastated at this point. And Jerry West is the guy